So I started my career as a newspaper photographer, and something I learned pretty quickly as a newspaper photographer is that the worst thing you can have happen, or one of the worst things, I guess, is have an editor, especially a word editor, come to you with a story idea and a photo assignment with a picture already in their head of what the photo is going to be from this assignment. Like they see it all, like there's somebody hugging and tears and everything else. But you know from shooting a lot of photo assignments, if you're a newspaper photographer, that what somebody has in their head rarely happens. People don't show up, or somebody came early, or something else happened. And it's just, you just cannot guarantee that that picture in their head is going to happen. So when I became a photo editor, it was like one of my very first rules for myself was that I was never going to be the type of editor that had a picture in their head that they were trying to get photographers to shoot, except for the times that I did do that. So the first time I did that was with a photographer at the York Daily Record named Kate Penn. And we had an assignment to photograph Jeff Koons, who's a artist from York County. And we have photos of him, like, you know, there's AP photos of him with his artwork, him accepting awards and things like that. But we didn't have anything of him in York recently. And so we thought this is our opportunity. But he's just going to be accepting an award. So he's probably just going to be standing at a podium. And how will we know that he's in York? It's going to look like every other assignment, which is exactly what Kate mentioned to me. But I said, this is our chance to get him in York. And I said, Kate, I just need to share this with you. I know this is the picture in my head. It's probably going to just be him at a podium. That's completely acceptable, but I need to share my vision with you of this photo. Perhaps he's walking down the street, like in front of the Central Market or the Appel Center, and you can get, you know, something that the Philadelphia Street behind him, and it looks like York. Perhaps he runs into a classmate and they'll be hugging and laughing and talking about old times on the street in York. Like that would be a beautiful photo that places this famous Yorker in York. That's the photo I want. And Kate just rolled her eyes and was like, okay. And I said, but, you know, you'll probably get a photo of him at the podium. That's completely acceptable. I just had to put that out there. So she shows up a little early to the event, and I get a call about an hour later. She's like, God damn it, Eileen. And I said, what? And she said, I got there early and I see Jeff Koons walking down the street. And so she ran through a yellow light to get there. And there he is with the Appel Center marquee in the background, and she's starting to take photos of him. And then this guy comes out, and he's his old high school principal at Dover High School. And they start talking to each other. And this guy whips out a yearbook. He has the yearbook from Jeff Koons, the senior year in high school. And they're like hugging and flipping through the yearbook and laughing at old times in front of under the Appel Center awning. And she's like, I got the photo you wanted, the exact photo in your head. And I was like, this is amazing. It was even better than the photo in my head. And we ran it on the front page. And I was like, I can't believe that happened, because even I was not expecting that. Except a few months later, we had a story about fireflies or lightning bugs or whatever you want to call them. Now this is tough. It's tough to photograph those. Like they're just little dots in the dark. It's dark. You know, like what are we going to do? We could do like some sort of illustration or you know, a stock photo or something like that. But I thought, let's take a chance. So I went to Kate and I said, let's go to this movie night at the park, and maybe there will be some kids there that wander off from watching the movie or start before the movie starts, and then maybe they'll be hunting for fireflies, and that can be a photo. And her eyes could not have rolled harder in her head. Like she's like, there's no way that's happening. And I was like, well, just, you know, you don't have anything tonight? Go to the movies at the park and we'll see what happens. Like maybe in my mind, let me share my vision with you. There'll be a kid catching fireflies somewhere and you can get a photo of that. She's like, okay, sure. So I get a call an hour later. And she's like, God damn it, Eileen. And I said, what? She's like, I went to the park. There were kids in the park, and some kid was wandering and it caught a firefly in the palms of his hands, and it like lit up, glowing in his hands. And it's a beautiful photo. We had copies made. It was so pretty, of this like little kid all by himself in a grassy field with a glowing orb in his hands. And I was like, that's amazing. I don't know. It only worked with Kate. Like other photographers, you could not make the photo in your head happen. But every once in a while, I felt like if I could tell Kate my vision, she could make it happen. And I mean, she did all the work. She showed up early. She's looking for these people. She's running across the street to catch up with Jeff Koons and all of that. So I can't really take credit for everything. But I did have a biology teacher in high school that would make us write at the beginning of all our tests, chance favors the mind that is prepared. It's like, I think it's the prepared mind is how the official quote is. But either way, I like to think my little conversations with Kate and sharing my vision and having her show up early and all the work she did, was part of that prepared mind. And when it did happen, those moments were magic.